been a while since I've done a good old review, and I don't think it's been that long, but it's been a long time at work. You know, work moves slower sometimes, so I have missed filming reviews. I honestly think it's only been like a week and a half, but that's okay. We're here with another review. By the way, my name is Lauren. Thank you for joining us today. What are we talking about? Well, we are talking about one of Colourpop's numerous launches, and I feel like I did such a great job last year resisting the urge to buy everything Colourpop. And it's actually pretty easy to resist that urge because they have a new release every week, so it gets to be a lot. But this one drew me in, and it actually didn't get me because of nostalgia this time. Normally it does. That's how they get me with the Halloween collection every year. Today we're going to be talking about the collab they did with Winx Club. Now, Winx Club is a show that I never watched. They actually have a reboot out that I also have not watched because I've heard it's not very good. And I also have no frame of reference because I didn't watch the original. But I liked the collection. It looked really nice. And this is the palette that we are dealing with today. It is a rainbow palette, but you know, Colourpop does a rainbow palette real well for the most part, unless it's all matte. So I wanted to get this. Now, I will say, this was not the only reason why I wanted to get this collection. The true reason that I wanted to get this collection to review was the light sticks. Yes, this collab came out with more light sticks. You might have seen my review, my short, if you will, on the light sticks that they just recently came out with the, God, they just came out. What was that collection called? I have the palette right here. Oh, yeah, I got up to look. The Aurora Struck collection, which I absolutely loved. I swear I just reviewed that. Okay, it hasn't been that long. Oh, Colourpop, you got me again. Well, I fell in love with those light sticks, and when I saw they were coming out with 3 more, I decided, you know, I'm gonna get the light sticks. I'm gonna get some pieces of this collection because those light sticks are amazing, and I want them all over my face all the time, please. So we have the light sticks. We also picked up a couple of the glosses, so we're gonna try these out as well. And you know, we picked up the face crystals because I am a child of the 80s, late 80s, child of the 90s, I guess, a baby of the 80s. And we like our face crystals, okay? They're awesome. Now, this collection had a couple more items. They actually had 5 lip glosses total, and no one needs 5 lip glosses from the same collection, okay? Even though they're all different colored, which is tempting, but you just don't need it. So in this collection, you have the Just Like Magic palette, which retails for $24. You have a glitter gel for $10, which obviously I did not pick up because that stuff just is a glittery mess. It's fun, I just don't have a reason to use it. There are the Tricks Glow light sticks, which you could get all 3 of these for $29, which is a steal because they're totally worth it. There were 5 of the ultra glossy lip glosses, which are $10 each, or you can get all 5 for $54. And then we have the Crystal Face Gems, which retails for $10. So what we're gonna do is we're going to do some swatches of the palettes, and we are going to just do a look and just have fun with it because this is a fun palette and we're gonna do a fun look. Hello, and we are starting with swatches. I'm trying to figure out the best way to swatch on camera. It is a skill that some people have that I'm still working on. But we are going to go ahead and start up with Domino up in this corner. And Domino is a rather sheer pink, isn't it? It's pretty sheer. Okay, we're going to go to Lynthia. Now, as I said in my intro, I have not watched the Winx Club. So if I am mispronouncing any of these, I do apologize. Okay, this guy is also a little bit sheer. Okay, Nature's Symphony. Oh my goodness, these are not swatching well, are they? Oh God, this is really sticky. Okay. Solaris. That's a little better. That's a little more pigment. Pure Magic. Ooh, that feels like a super shock. That feels nice. It's pretty. Fairy Vibe. Okay, these are not swatching great. I wonder if it's because I put oil on my arm earlier and it hasn't sunk in all the way. We'll see when we apply it to the eye, but this is Sunbolts. I wonder if that's kind of playing with the swatches a little bit. We have Zenith, Rising Tide, Digital Blast, Sounds of Melody, Dragon Flame, Charmix, Andros, and Sonic Bomb. Ooh, it's pretty. So here's the palette in all its beautiful glory. Okay, let's get into the look. So the swatches were confusing, and I think it was my fault. I put on my Osea body oil this morning, as I normally do, and I try to remember to wait until after I film my reviews to do that, because it is an oil, and even though it's like sunk into my skin pretty well, it might have messed with the swatches. So we're gonna see if we have any sort of patchiness or anything when we put it on our eyes. And I always say you cannot trust swatches on the arm because they might apply completely different. And we hope they do sometimes. And then sometimes it's disappointing because it's like, oh, they swatched so well and it's just not the way it looks. How disappointing. Okay, so I went ahead and I prepped one of my eyes with my MAC paint pot. This is my tried and true Bare Study. I love this one. Let's do something fun. I think what I want to start with is I'm going to go into Fairy Vibe. And we are going to try to do, I don't know. We're just going to play around with it. I'm going to do a little bit of like a rainbow. So I'm gonna try to be a little more precise. Sometimes I go in and I'm just like, color everywhere. Which I might do for the other eye, to be honest. They are gonna be two different colors. Okay, yeah, I do think my oil was messing with my swatches. So I apologize for that, guys. Okay, next what I wanna do is I'm going to go into Sunbolt, and I'm going to continue kind of just a line on the top of my eye. These shimmers are going on really, really nice. Look at that. It's so pretty. So my best friend, who I love and who watches these videos, always tells me, she'll leave a comment, she'll be like, you washed your hair, because it's always obvious when I have washed my hair and when I haven't. We're going into Digital Blast now because my hair just, it's naturally blonde and it just gets dark and gross when it's dirty. So I'm expecting to get a comment from her on here that says, so when are you washing your hair? You doing okay, buddy? My hair is gross. I wash it normally about twice a week, 1 to 2 times a week, and this is the end of the week, so it's only been once this week. It needs to be washed. It does. It's such a process, you know. Sometimes you don't want to deal with it. Okay, I'm gonna go into the one that I really want to play with. It's obviously going to be the green, so I'm going to go into Charmix, and I'm going to just, I a little bit of that below that beautiful little rainbow we created. Because this one actually persevered through the oil on my arm and had a lot of pigment for a light green, so it was kind of impressive. Okay, I'm trying to do my best not to mess up the rainbow on top, but we do want to blend the edges together a little bit. Oh, that's a pretty green. You know, I'm going to go back into Digital Blast, that purple color. I'm going to deepen it a little bit over here. There we go. I like that better. And then let's go back into Sunbolt and kind of add a bit more shine too. Now, as I said before, I did not watch Winx Club when I was younger. I'm not sure what year it came out. It must have been kind of when I was just a little bit too old. It must have missed me because I watched Pokemon. I would have loved this show when I was littler, like, trust me. I want to do something a little darker, so let's go into Sounds of Melody over here, and I am going to put that just over the rest of my eye. Trying something a little different today. And I'm just going to put it in like that. But are you guys fans of Winx Club? Like, did anyone watch the reboot? Because I actually did watch a review of the reboot. I love watching movie and show reviews on YouTube. That's one of the things I like watching besides for makeup. And also book reviews. Love a good book review. And the woman who was reviewing it was like, yeah, it's terrible. They missed out on all the great things that made the original so good. So it makes me worry that they kind of missed the point. Okay, I'm going back into Charmix, which I feel like is probably one of the ones that I am saying completely wrong. And I'm just kind of layering it a little bit over that bright pink color. That's kind of all I want to do for that eye. I wanted to do something fun, and I feel like that's pretty fun. But let's do something different on the other eye. We're going to do eyeliner and mascara at the end once we finish both eyes, because the look really does not come together, for me at least, until I put on both eyeliner and mascara. You need both. You need both. So going in with my MAC Paint Pot. What I love about using MAC Paint Pot as a primer is that it doesn't really need a whole lot of dry down time. A lot of the liquid primers I use, you need to wait a little bit for it to get tacky because you don't want it to be super wet. You're not gonna be able to apply eyeshadow if it's super wet. Okay, and then for this eye, let's do more of a halo. I'm gonna go into Andros, and I think I'm gonna do, yeah, just something a little more halo-esque, because I actually love doing halos, because I feel like they're super easy to do, and they're pretty fast. So I'm just bringing the color up on my lid. It's very pretty green. Like that. Trying to get it so that it's even. Shadow's going on very, very nicely, I will say. And what I'm gonna do next is I think I'm gonna go into that Zenith, and I am going to kind of put that on top, the very, very top. Oh wow, that one's actually really soft. I'm gonna do this, just put it on top like that. So Zenith might be a sequin shade. I talked about it in my last review of Colourpop. I despise their sequin shades. Now, what is a sequin shade? Sequin shade is when it's like they've created a matte and then they add shimmer to that. So they tend to be very, very dry, because normally when you're working with Colourpop shimmers, they're not dry. They actually are like, you know, pretty bouncy, pretty moist. Like they're great. You know, Colourpop has a great shimmer formula. You know, they have their Super Shocks, which are on the very moist end, I would say, but are fabulous. And sequin shades, just what happens is that because it's such a dry formula, the shimmers tend to fall out. They don't stay on your face. They don't really add anything to the look. So I do think, judging by how little shimmer we're actually getting when applying this, is I'd say this was a sequin shade. The color itself is very pretty, but I wish they just made it a matte. They didn't need to make it anything else. Okay, and because obviously we're doing a green look, let's go ahead and go into Nature's Symphony, and we are just gonna stick it right in the middle of our halo, and we are going to use our finger, because that's how I do my halos. And yeah, this one, Nature's Symphony, like I noticed this in the last palette too. Some of their shimmers, oh wow, okay, are just very tacky. It actually has a little bit of a tackiness to it. And I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's gonna help adhere better to your eye as long as it dries down. I didn't have any issues with the last palette that I've again already Aurora Struck. I don't know why I cannot remember that name, because I love that palette. It's a great palette. But I didn't have any issues with fallout or anything like that. Like they didn't, you know, dry up and then fall off when I was using the similar ones that were just a little bit gooey, I would say. Okay, do we want to do anything underneath the eyes? I guess we didn't really do that. I think on this eye, because I'm all over the place, we're gonna go into Sunbolt, and I'm gonna put that underneath my waterline. That is a pretty color. It's just adding some shimmer. Not that I needed it, I was perfect already. And then let's go ahead and let's go into Charmix and do that underneath my waterline on the other eye. I feel like this is a color that I will be using quite a bit because I'm actually really impressed with how it has been applying. It's just a really pretty matte light green. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put on some eyeliner, some mascara, kind of finish up the look a little bit because we did two very different eye looks and I'm a fan of both, but we need to solidify them with some eyeliner and mascara. So I will be right back. Okay, we are back. We have finished up the eye look and I love it. I will be honest and say this side is giving me life. The greens, yeah, I am a huge fan. This is something I would do very often because I like this. I feel like with this look, I like it. I like that it's a little different, but I think really fast before we move on, I'm gonna bring the purple up a little bit and kind of go over the orange a little bit. Because the orange was not a great connector for that pink and the purple. It was just a little bit too light. So we're just gonna do that. And then we're gonna call it a day because I just still really like it. I like that it's a little bit different, you know? It's fun to do something a little bit different. So this is the eye looks that we did and we're loving it so far. Now we're getting on to the good stuff. Not that the palette wasn't good. We'll talk about my final thoughts after, but you know, these light sticks are calling to me. Now, I have watched a few reviews of the light sticks and it seems like there may have been an issue in production when putting these out because so far everyone has said that the actual product does not contain the name on it. So it doesn't say Icy, Darcy, or Stormy. So we are going to swatch these on camera because I'm not going to be able to tell you what is what, right? This one is Icy. Does it say Icy anywhere on it? I don't think it does. Yeah, I don't think it does. It says Winx Club. Nope. I think they might have been a little bit of an oversight. They put out too many products, right? They can't control things anymore. So let's go ahead and just, this is Icy. I'm not putting it on my wrist because I always bend my wrist in a weird way. And I realized that when I'm swatching on camera. So we're putting it down below. That's Icy. And now let's get into Darcy. Darcy looks like it has a green tint, which you know has my heart already. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Okay, so that was Darcy. Then we have Stormy. And this one is a purple. Oh, so pretty. It's definitely much deeper than the other colors, which I appreciate. Some variation for people with different skin tones. So probably not the best highlighter on me. It is a little bit dark. I've been feeling like I like the icier highlighters lately. It's just, you know, rose gold highlighters will always have my heart, but I've just kind of been in an icy mood. So we're gonna use Icy. And this one I would say isn't as, I don't know, unique as the other ones are. This is just an icy highlighter, but it is so pretty. Look at that. Can you see that? I hope so. I hope you're seeing that. Let's go ahead and, no, you know what? The other side is green. We are going for it. We're doing Darcy, I think. I think that was the green one. And you know what? All the outer packaging is the same. And I wonder, normally they're really good about having like very unique, different outer packaging for every single product, even if it's, you know, the same light sticks, the, you know, packaging will sometimes vary. But I don't know, maybe that was part of the problem. Maybe not. Maybe they wanted it all to be the same. I just wish they put it on here. That's one issue I have with Kaleidos. A lot of their products don't actually have the name on them. So sometimes you're using them and you're like, I don't know what palette this is, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, we love it. That is a very green look and I appreciate it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we went icier on this side, which I think matches that look a little bit better. And then we just went straight up green and we love it. We love it. That is so much fun. How pretty is that? Okay, next we have to talk about the glosses. There was a green gloss that I did not get. I will say that when I was looking at all the products, I try to be a lot better about, you know, not buying the whole collection because it's just not necessary. But, I mean, except when it comes to light sticks, apparently. So I ended up getting two of the lip glosses. These have the names on it. So this is Musa, and then this is Tecna. God, I hope I'm saying those right. So Musa is the kind of like more bright pink, and then Tecna is the purple. So let's see if these actually look different on the lips. I'm hoping they look a little bit different. I'm just gonna do a little bit of a hand swatch. Oh, that's pretty. So this is Musa. So that's the pink one. There was another pink one. I was trying to decide between the two. And this is the one I chose because I liked how it looked online best. And then this is Tecna. So we've got a sheer with purple shimmer. So yeah, let's do Musa. Probably not saying that right. Tell me how to say it in the comments, please. I'm so sorry. I should have watched an episode of Winx Club. I don't have Netflix anymore. We canceled our Netflix subscription. We're over it. It's like, how many streaming services do you need? That is a very sticky gloss. I forgot how sticky their glosses were. It smells nice though. and it is pretty. Okay. I do actually really like that color quite a bit. That's very pretty. Let's get into some final thoughts. What are my final thoughts on this collection? Well, I will say I am impressed with the palette. You know, I was a little nervous after those swatches, but it was definitely my fault for putting on body oil too soon before swatching, okay? And it has to be at least 5 hours in between those two things. But putting it on my eye, I really enjoyed every single color that I used. The only one that was a little disappointing was Zenith, and that's only because it is a sequin shade, and again, those shimmers just don't stay at all on your face when you use a sequin shade like this. But the color itself, really pretty. Very, very pretty lime green. It's kind of interesting how many different formulas they have in each palette. I didn't even get to use Pure Magic, and that one is definitely a super shock. I'm thinking Nature's Symphony is similar in its composition because it's got a bunch of, it's mushy. It's a little mushy, but it went on great. I loved it. Every single color I used worked really well. I was actually really surprised by the consistency in this palette, and I didn't get any fallout. So huge win for that. Love no fallout. So I would say this palette is a smash hit. Good job, Colourpop. You did great with this one. Light sticks. Oh, I love them so much. I just used Icy and Darcy on my face today. And look, I love a green highlighter. I don't have a whole lot of opportunities to wear a green highlighter, but when I do have those opportunities, normally around the holidays, I take them and I use green highlighters quite a bit. And I kind of fell in love with Darcy. Darcy is just a gorgeous green. Now, Icy, this is one that I would wear regularly because it is a great icy highlighter. You can blend it out with your, sponge if you want to make it a little bit lighter. That's the beautiful thing about the light sticks. You can layer them to give a more intense effect, or you can sheer them out a bit depending on what you're looking for in your look for the day. So I just really love this light sticks formula. I think Colourpop they're hitting it out of the park with these. I will continue to buy these when they put them out. I probably don't need any more. I think I have 6 now. Can't help myself. Sorry, guys. The lip glosses, now that it's dried down a little bit, it's not as sticky as it was when I first applied it. And I was actually surprised by how much I liked Musa. I think that's a very pretty color. And I think Tecna is going to be the same. I think it's going to be very pretty on the lips. And it does have a little bit of color to it. So it's not just sheer with shimmer. It's got a little bit of pinkness to it. So I actually do like this. Now, you don't need 5. Why they came out with 5? Look, I appreciate that they came out with 5 different colors. I think that's kind of cool. But I don't think you need 5 of these. But 1 or 2, sure, why not? For $10 a pop, they're pretty affordable. Overall, I'm really impressed with this collection. I wasn't sure how much I would like it going into it because, as I've said before, I never watched Winx Club. This is not something that hits that nostalgic factor for me. But I do like rainbows. I do like a green highlighter, and they have that in this collection. This is a great collection. I was really excited to have this collection. And overall, I'm actually really happy that I picked it up, Lately, I think that Colourpop has been hitting it out of the park with their Aurora Struck. Forgetting that name. That collection was a fantastic collection, and now with the Winx Club collection. So continue putting out great products, Colourpop, because there's an audience for them. It's this audience. It's me. It's me. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I would love to hear your thoughts on this collection. Did you pick up anything from the Winx Club Colourpop collab? Let me know down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!